Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, we looked at to create a dashboard using Excel, and the data was related to purchase price analysis. So we use some features like pivot table, like slicers and graphs, pivot charts in Excel to create this dashboard. We remember that there was some limitations in Excel in terms of drill down and stuff. We are able to drill down using a slicer, but it takes a lot of time to drill down. But we are not able to drill down from one chart. If I want to click on Marget any company, I was not able to do that to the chart. So I won't be able to do that. So let's see how this limitation can be addressed using a new tool called Powerbi. So today I'll just quickly show you how this visualization looks in Power BI and what are the advantages of using the Power BI and how we can build the dashboard from scratch. So to build this dashboard, for me it took nearly 60 minutes, even though it's a simple dashboard. But let's see how much time it's going to take to build it in Power BI. Before we go into the actual tutorial of how to create it, but let's look at what is the output looks like in Power BI. So it is pretty much the same dashboard. Probably I've rearranged it in a different way. There are two filters and two charts and two different tables and a detail table. So it is same as this one. You can see two filters, two charts, two tables and one detail table. So notice here, the global filter is something like this. So it is similar to the slicer. You can click on premium and it changes, and you can see the detail, it changes too. So the feature that was not there in Excel was you couldn't click on a particular vendor to look at the changes in other graphs, but it is possible here. When you click 1639, you can clearly see others are changing. Likewise, if I click say the vendor number 2000, it gives me those. So this would clearly give me more insights, and this feature was fairly easy to build it in Power BI. So without getting any time wasted, let's get started to build this Power BI dashboard. So I'll quickly show you the process I followed. So this is the process I followed to build this dashboard. So I imported the data, which is the raw data which was there in Excel, and I transformed it. Basically, I've corrected some of the data types, and then I created a relationship. There were two data. So in Excel, we have to look up that value, but here you can actually do a join, create a relationship based on a key, so that you can directly use from different tables. Then I built the analysis. So there is three things. Edit interaction is the interaction between graphs. So that's what I showed you right now. Clicking on one graph changes the other one. And sync slicers is if you're going to have analysis in different pages, you have to have slicers at different pages and you have to sync it. And finally, formatting of the overall Power BI dashboard. So let's get started now with the actual build. So the time is around 1:15 p.m. Let's see how long it takes for us. So let me have this. Probably what I'll do is I'll create a new file. Probably this is not required. I can cancel it, close it. Okay, this is when you open Power BI, it looks like this. You can download this for free from Microsoft Store, and you can practice it. So I download this. Once you open Power BI, it looks like this. As I said, the first step is import the data. Now let's import the data set. I'll click on this. My data is in Power BI raw data. So I click on that. I'll open it. It will show me the table there. Okay, select that. You can see the list of columns there. So don't directly load it. Okay, you can load it, but the data types might look a bit wrong and it might throw up some error. So generally, a rule of thumb is in any analysis, you load everything as text or varchar so that it doesn't throw any error. For now, let's go transform it. So let me transfer some of the fields. So let's say brand, it's like a number. Yeah. So probably I'll like it as a whole number. I'll load it as text. So likewise, the size, volume, make it as text. Description is fine, price is fine, size is fine. So classification is again a number. I'll load it as text. Finally, things with the vendor number, again I load it as text. So this is a basic transformation, like just changing data types, but you can do much more in this. Probably in another video, I can just take through how transformation happens in Power BI. So once you make the changes, all you have to do is close and apply. So that would actually load the data, loading to a data model where you can see 12,261 rows imported. So similarly, we need another data source, which is the classification table. I do the same. I'll open it. I select that particular table. I'll transform that. So I'll just change the classification into text. So I'll apply, close and apply. This is, so right now we have imported both the data set. So that is the first, two is done. Now we have to create the relationship. So how do you create the relationship? Select one of the table. You can click on manage relationship and go to new and select the table. You have to select the column that creates the relationship. It's a classification column. That's the key. It's many to one because there are many values of classification here and join to one. So this is kind of in a join in SQL. So I click now the relationship is created. So now you can take any data from any table to create the analysis. The third one is let's build the analysis. First one is a vendor with maximum number of bands. So I click on visualization. It's a simple bar chart. So I just move it up here. So it's vendor with maximum number of bands. So I'll just get the y-axis is brand. So you got this. Right now it is doing count. What we need is distinct count. So it's distinct count now. Probably if you want the labels, you can go here and that's y-axis. You can go to value, data labels here. This one. You have to click. So if you want to show it as whole numbers, you can go to the y-axis and click on values and you can have it as on decimal place. Okay. So I'll just say no. So it shows as a full value here. So one advantage here is we did top 10 in Excel, but here you don't have to so what you can do is there's something called zoom slider. So I'll switch it on. So you can drag to all the data, which is quite useful. This feature is not there in Excel. Okay. So that's the first one. You can change the title name by going into general title and you can just say vendor with maximum number of bands, vendor with max number of bands. You can make it as bold and make it middle indentation. And if you want to change probably the color of the chart, so you can go to y-axis, you can select value. This is the value. I think columns. It's in columns. Go here and change it to orange. Yeah, it will change. Now the second chart is I just copy paste this. There's no need of creating any pivot tables and creating pivot charts here. It's quite straightforward here. So you can go here. The next chart is related to average purchase price by brand. So brand comes here and the purchase price goes here. So it's not sum with the average number of purchase prices. No, it has to be, brand description. No, it's still showing vendor. I don't know why. Sorry, if it's average purchase price, I have to click on average. Yeah, that gives me the right values. You can see, so I can move it here. So increasing it gives you the average purchase price. So you don't want any decimal, you can go here on y-axis. Values, decimal is 0. Yeah. So you got that. 7 into 3, there's a zoom slider. You can drag. So we created these two charts. Now 2 pivot tables have to create. So same vendor number, but with a different vendor name. So you click this matrix, which is the pivot table here. Get the vendor number and the value is vendor name. Distinct count of vendor names. So what you need is count greater than 1. So you go here, count of vendor name. You say greater than 1. Apply that filter. You've got that here. So if you want to color this, you can just still do the same. Just go here and column it and color it as this. Make it bold. Or you can give the background color as this. Make this as white. However you want here. So I just copy paste this. What I need here is I don't want the filter. So no. I want the next chart is brand with distinct purchase price greater than 5. So we need the brand here. So that is the description. So this is the distinct purchase price. That is distinct count of purchase price. Apply a filter greater than 5. I apply the filter. I just got that here. Now if you want to get rid of this total, so you can go here, again select here. And there'll be a row grand total, row subtotal is off. So you don't get the total. Even column is not required. The same here. So now we have built these 4 charts. So if you want to give the title, so you can give here, again, go to general and give a title on, and just you can call it as same vendor number, different vendor name, different vendor name. So you can make it bold, you can center it. So I'll just change the title for this also. So I'll on it. I'll give a title. This one, brand with distinct purchase price greater than 5. Brand with distinct purchase price greater than 5. I bold it and make it center. So now we have built the 4 charts. Let's say this is summary. So now we want the detail. So detail is pretty much, it's a normal table. You go here and select everything you want, all the values, and you get the classification description from here. You can see a full table is here, and similarly you can remove the totals. You can just format it. This you can move around here. I'll just keep some space for the slicers so that it's easier for me later on. Yeah. Okay, so you can format this also. You can go here and click on this and style preset. You can just do this whichever way you want. I just keep it as minimal. Yeah. So this is the detail. If you notice, it's literally we've finished almost this one. All we need is a couple of slicers more. Let's say the slicers. Okay, so I add 1 slicer. So I click on the slicer and I select size as 1. So now this slicer, I can change it into a drop down slicer. So this is a vertical list, I can do it as drop down. So it's there's good space there. And similarly, I'll do another slicer, same drop down. Okay, instead of the size, all I have to do is put the classification description. That would give me whether it is premium or non-premium. So now pretty much the visuals are built. The next steps are we have to do edit interaction, sync slicer and formatting. Let's do one thing. Let's sync the slicers first. Then we do edit interaction formatting. Yeah. So syncing slicer is copy these 2. The reason you sync slicer is any changes here has to affect on the detail. So now if you notice, if I click on this vendor, it doesn't change here, right? If I click on anything, it doesn't change to the other detail here. So for that, you have to add the slicer and sync it. So I just copy this. I paste it here. So when you paste it, it'll ask you to sync. Yeah. So you just say sync. Now what you can do is, these filters can be hidden. You don't have to show this to people. For that, you go to format. There is a manage visibility. So you can just hide both of them. It looks like as if this at the back end, it is there, but generally, it is not there to people's eye. Now, if I go click a particular vendor number, let's just say include only 2000. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. It is on the slicer, not this one. So this one is interaction. So I think I need to remove this one. Sorry. 1 second. This is included. Yeah. So what I meant was when you're syncing slices, whatever you select on the slicer would sync. Let's say I say premium. It selects only premium now. So if you go to here, it will show you only premium brands. See, all premium. If I select only non-premium, it will show you only non-premium here. So likewise on the other slicers too. If I select only, let's say, if it's blank here. So I want to know what is the detail of the blank. I go here, I check what is the detail. It shows only that. So that's why you do the sync slicer. Basically what you're doing is whatever the filters you're applying from slices here, you're syncing to the other page. So this is about the sync slicer. The next one is about interactions here. So interaction works like this. Okay, let me make the chart a bit smaller. So right now, this is not dynamic. One chart is not affecting the others, right? If I click this, it is having some effect, but it's not properly doing it. Move it. So let's say if I click on this, still showing. Okay, so but just show it in a better way. Let's just show only what is included in this. You have to edit interaction. So the way you do it is you select the first graph, go to format, you click on interaction, and everything has to be filtered out. So this means it is highlight, this is filter, click on filter, filter, filter. So now if I remove this, if I click on interaction, it will show only that whatever is relevant to this particular vendor name. So that is interaction. So for example, if I have to apply to all the filter, if I click this, it has to show only that brand. So right now it doesn't show that. So for that, I have to go click here and click interactions. So for this, it has to filter out. It's filtering out everywhere. So now I remove the interaction. Basically, you click on one graph and select filter instead of highlight. Yeah. If I click this, I have to select the filter for all the other three graphs. If I click this, I have to select the filter for all the other three graphs. Right now, if you notice, it is filtering out. Yeah. So if I click on this, it'll filter out only that. And again, let's say if I click on this, filter out only that. Or if I click on a particular brand, it filters only that brand. Now, so this was the drawback in Excel. We can clearly see, okay, we are able to fix that here. Like, this is a very useful feature. So you can look at, how a particular vendor is performing. Just look at the different brands and, are there any brand with a distinct purchase price greater than 5? So you can do more analysis. So now another feature I want to talk about is the drill through. Let's say now I select this one, say this particular vendor name, Marketing companies. It does not drill through in the detail. Yeah. So it's still different vendor name. To do that, what you need to do is, you have to go to the visualization. In the drill through particular field, we have to add that what is the field you want to drill through by. Let's say vendor name. I click here. Do the same thing also here. Go here, add the drill through field. It's a vendor name. So now this feature will be enabled for this particular vendor name. So if I right click, it shows you drill through. So when I click on detail, it shows the detail only for that vendor name. So now it has been drilled through. So now if you want to remove this, you can just go click here and clear filter. So now if you take, like say brand, this is a brand name, right? Okay, there is no drill through for that. But if you want to add a drill through, you have to follow the same logic. So and you have to add the brand description here. So now if you want to drill through by brand, okay, you can just, now you have a drill through. You click detail, it show you only that Glen Grant brand. You got the point, I believe. Yeah. So now if you want to remove this, you can go clear this filter. So that's the drill through. Yeah. So if you notice, it is quite, we can make the dashboard and it is quite fast, much better than Excel. So I just wanted to show the advantage of using Power BI. So this is not the best looking. Okay. If you format it, you can make it look like a very powerful analytics tool. So that can be published across organization, which user management also can be done. First two sheets, a dashboard can be viewed by certain people. You can do all that, but you need a Power BI. So this is a desktop, Power BI desktop. If you have a Power BI, cloud, then you can do all that. You can publish it. You can send it to people. So I covered everything. So we did import the data. We did transform the data. We built the managed relationship. We built the analysis. We did the interactions. This is the interaction between charts. Sync slicers, as we have slicers on different sheet. If you want that to be applied across all the sheets, you have to sync slices. And finally formatting. And one more thing is the drill through, which I explained, but I didn't add here. So I'm adding it here. So this is how you build Power BI. So I hope this session would have been useful for you. I believe we took a bit of time on the interaction between, initially it was not working. Probably one reason might be I copy pasted this chart. Probably that might be a reason. Some bug was there in Power BI. So right now, if I create the charts from scratch and create the interaction, it perfectly worked. So what I've done is I put this Power BI dashboard in the same place where I have all the data. If you're interested to try this out, probably you can download this and just have a look at it and just try it out. If you have any questions, feel free to put in the comments. I'll try to answer it. So I hope this session would have given you some insight on the advantage of using Power BI over Excel. I think nothing else from my side for today. If you notice, literally the build time is, except that bug, the build time is literally 15 minutes. So Excel took nearly an hour. This can be even reduced to probably 5-10 minutes if you have a perfect set of data, if you've done this already. So to me, this is a much better visualization tool. Probably if you want to get into the field of data analytics, you should learn this tool. This is widely used across different organizations. It will be a very useful feature to add in your CV. All right. Thanks a lot for listening. I will come up with another video very soon. Until then, have a good day or night. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.